On WKYT this morning, it is 4:30. Police say they are still searching for a suspect in Fleming County after he shot a man with a shotgun.
Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis will face a judge again today. Coming up, we will hear what her attorneys are saying as they prepare for court.
And the entire community was behind him, but a Franklin County teenager has lost his fight to a serious illness.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Welcome in today. Let's get a check of Thursday's forecast with Micah Harris.
It is the same as the past few days. This summer pattern just continues just to set up and just not move much. We're looking outside. Things look pretty good. We're sitting there in the 60s, a 71-degree reading now in Jackson down in Breathitt County. And what we're going to be dealing with today's forecast, 88 degrees, only a slight chance of rain in the forecast. So as we go through time, it gets a little bit better with those chances of rain, and also those temperatures drop just a bit. So this is one of the a couple of the warmer days we've had. We'll talk all about this forecast coming up.
All right, a little moisture returning. Thank you, Micah.
New this morning, police say they are currently looking for a suspect who shot a man in Fleming County late last night.
Police say the shooting happened around 10 o'clock last night at 1719 South Lick Road. That's in the Tipton area. They say a man was shot by another male with a shotgun. The victim has been taken to UK Hospital. His injuries unknown to us, the extent of those. Police are currently searching for the suspect, and they believe he is still armed. They are warning people to avoid the area if possible.
And this morning, friends are remembering a Jackson County man who died in a shooting. Police say 61-year-old Jackie Rose got into an argument with another man Tuesday afternoon on Chestnut Flat Road. They say that man then shot Rose. Friends say Rose was a hardworking and honest man.
You know, even though you may not be kin to somebody, they're your neighbor right next door, and we treat a lot of people like family here.
Well, police say they've questioned the shooter, but so far no charges have been filed. They're still investigating what led to the shooting. Police plan to present their findings to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. The legal battle over marriage licenses in Rowan County moves back to federal court today. A federal judge has summoned the clerk, Kim Davis, and her deputy clerks to appear at the courthouse in Ashland. The judge will hear a motion calling for her to be held in contempt of court.
Yesterday, Davis turned away another same-sex couple from Ohio who came to Rowan County for a marriage license.
We're not doing marriage license today.
Why?
Because I'm not doing marriage license today. We're pending an appeal.
Under what authority?
Court tomorrow.
Under what authority? God's authority. I knew you would say that.
For 2 consecutive days, Davis has continued to defy federal Judge David Bunning's order for her to issue marriage licenses. Yesterday, Davis's attorneys filed a response to a motion filed Tuesday asking that she be held in contempt of court. WKYT's Monique Blair has more on the story.
Davis's response says in part she should not be held in contempt because, quote, she is presently unable to comply with the court's order. Going on to say, quote, it irreparably and irreversibly violates her conscience by directing her to authorize and issue same-sex marriage licenses bearing her name and approval, end quote. The response later states there are less restrictive alternatives that provide the plaintiffs with marriage licenses but do not substantially burden Davis's sincerely held religious beliefs, such as distributing marriage licenses through an online statewide licensing scheme or deeming Davis, quote, absent for purposes of issuing same-sex licenses. On Wednesday afternoon, U.S. Attorney Carrie Harvey issued a statement concerning Davis, saying in part, quote, we have grave concerns about the reported failure to comply with the court's order. Government officials are free to disagree with the law, but not disobey it. It is time for the clerk and the county to follow the law, end quote.
Davis's hearing is set to begin at 11 o'clock this morning. The judge could fine Davis or potentially send her to jail. Stay with WKYT throughout the day for complete coverage.
Kentucky U.S. Senator and Republican presidential candidate Rand Paul has shown support for Kim Davis. He said Davis standing for her beliefs is, quote, an important part of the American way. Senator Paul is scheduled to be on CBS this morning to talk about his campaign and the news of the day. You can watch him right here on WKYT This Morning, begin at 7 o'clock today.
This morning, a Pulaski County father is behind bars after being charged with DUI again. His latest charges come only 2 years after admitting that he was drunk during a crash that badly injured his 12-year-old daughter. Somerset police arrested 58-year-old Jimmy Jasper Saturday night. They say they received a call that he harassed employees at the Dairy Queen drive-thru and smelled of alcohol. They say they later found him nearby. They say his blood alcohol level was more than twice the legal limit. In 2013, Jasper admitted he was drunk when his car hit a fence, injuring his daughter. Jasper was later sentenced to prison, but the judge probated it at his daughter's request. Police now think an attempted burglary at a Richmond veterinary clinic is connected to burglaries at 2 other clinics. Richmond police say the 2 people tried to break into Skipworth Animal Clinic on Merchant Drive early Tuesday morning, but police say something scared off the burglars before they could break open the door. Police now think the same 2 people stole pet medicine from veterinarian clinics in Lexington and Nicholasville Tuesday morning. Police are telling other clinics to be on alert.
We've upped our patrols and we're watching all the veterinary clinics, making sure that they're not getting broken into.
Richmond police think these same 2 people may have broken into Skipworth Clinic back in June and stole medicine.
A string of bad luck for an Eastern Kentucky family. They say for the 4th time a fire destroyed their home. The latest fire started Tuesday in the Finch family's home in the Howards Branch community of Magoffin County. No one was injured, but the family says they lost everything they own. They say it's been one setback after another.
We had one this way, had a double wide right there burned, then a single wide right there. Then we had one burn, ran this way, one of the first bought the place.
Do you know what caused the other fires?
Oh, house. Oh, one.
As for Tuesday's fire, firefighters are still investigating the cause. The Finch family is staying with other relatives for now. Well, investigators calling it a horrible accident. They say a man died in a fall while riding his lawnmower. He actually went over a cliff in Pulaski County.
Yeah, it happened yesterday afternoon outside a home on Waitsboro Drive, not far from Lake Cumberland. This morning, we now know more about the victim and what investigators think led up to the accident. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has the story.
That neighborhood backs up here to the Waitsboro Recreation Area at Lake Cumberland. Steep hills and cliffs border the lake here, and we're told it's not far from this spot where Nykirk went over the embankment and died. Waitsboro Drive is a quiet street in a nice neighborhood. The view of Lake Cumberland from the homes here could be captured on a postcard, but the very feature that provides that view proved to be deadly. Pulaski County Coroner Clyde Strunk says Jake Nykirk worked for a local lawn service. He was mowing near the edge of the bluff in the backyard of this home when he went over the cliff and died.
I come down here all the time, and my daughter lives across the lake over here, and it's a really dangerous place.
Folks who know just how steep and dangerous some of the yards out here can be say the accident shook them.
It's very treacherous. It's almost straight up and down, and you have a beautiful view, but you know, you got to be careful.
The emergency management director here says Nykirk fell at least 150 feet down that embankment. In Pulaski County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And the coroner says Nykirk's body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy.
This morning, a very sad update on a Central Kentucky teenager battling a serious illness. Family members tell us 16-year-old Bradley Kimmick died late yesterday afternoon at Kentucky Children's Hospital. Doctors diagnosed the Frankfort High School student and soccer player with encephalitis after he collapsed on the soccer field last month. Students, teachers, and others in the community had raised thousands of dollars to help Bradley's family pay for medical costs. A Laurel County man arrested in Lexington after police say he caused a deadly crash in Tennessee is back in the volunteer state tonight. Or today, I should say. Deputies there say they drove to Kentucky to take Benjamin Brewer to Chattanooga. He's charged with 6 counts of vehicular homicide. In June, police say his tractor trailer crashed into multiple cars on Interstate 75 in Chattanooga, killing 6 people. After a grand jury indicted him, U.S. Marshals and police tracked him down in Lexington last month. This morning, a former Catholic priest in Louisville facing federal child pornography charges is out of jail. Yesterday, a judge agreed to release Stephen Pohl on a $25,000 unsecured bond. Louisville Archdiocese leaders say the FBI found child porn on Pohl's computer. He resigned after the charges were filed. While out of jail, Pohl will live with his mother. He is also not allowed to have computers there.
A new football program at UK, new season beginning with a new look at Commonwealth Stadium, and fans heading to Saturday's season opener will be noticing new traffic patterns on nearby Alumni Drive with 2 new roundabouts there. Police are telling fans to arrive early and plan for traffic. And if you're looking to park off campus, leaders at the First Christian Church near the stadium say they have 160 parking spaces for fans. It'll be $20 to park there for each car. The money goes to help the church's youth program, and the church is even offering prepaid parking for UK fans on its website. Go to WKYT.com for more information as everybody gets ready for the big game day at UK on Saturday. Pretty exciting, huh? Time this morning is coming up on 4:41. We have a lot more news coming up on WKYT, your Thursday morning.
Expecting and new moms have millions of questions. Moms Every Day goes over a couple apps that can answer many of them when we return.
Yeah, we're looking across the way, holding on to the 60s this morning. Very muggy outside, especially yesterday. But you know what? Yesterday and today, carbon copies of each other. What about your weekend forecast? I'll have that coming up next.